Alright, welcome back everybody. Today is the grand finale. This is it. This is the last mission of the last campaign. Dynasty Warriors 8 Chaos Mode. 99 times have we met here for one of these missions. We made it to the final one. How exciting. This is kind of a bittersweet deal for me. I'm happy because this is one of my favorite games ever, of one of my favorite series ever. And there's already a lot of great YouTubers who have put out videos on this game. But you know what? I wanted to do it too. So I did. And for the final mission of the final campaign, the Lubu campaign, there's only one man. Only one behemoth that it makes sense to play as. I think we do get a cutscene here. Definitely gonna have a cutscene after.
おいたわし、呂布殿は逆賊董卓を切ったにもかかわらず長安を追われてしまわれた。いわばここが呂布殿にとって乱世始まりの地。そして呂布殿の天下が始まる地となりましょう。まさにその通り。されど今ここには乱世の亡者たちが集まっております。さながらかつての古老館のようですな。
They are flashing.
あの時とは違う。俺が思うままに暴れられるのだからな。
王政様、どうかご武運を。天下をおつかみになられませ。
よし、始めるぞ。
Zhang Liao's outfit is so cool.
雑魚どもは帝のもとに集ま今帝を操っている。そもそも行くぞ。開門し。長安の
Oh yeah. As always, I hope you're having a great day. It's been a good day for me. I love this battlefield. It is the only time this level is used. I don't think you can play the opposite version of this either. I don't know that I've ever checked. I'd be really surprised if you could, though, just to be honest. And you know, as I sit here on this final episode, I do have one thought. I could really go for some ice cream. I'm gonna hit this dude with the booyah. Oh, wait a minute, this is not the correct way. I can't see. They just want me to. They just want me to beat these people. I need to get that for sure. I have said this before. I have not uploaded Classic 1 Do yet. I'm recording. I recorded the previous one and this one at the same time. With that being said, I'm still unsure what the next series will be, if any. If you have a suggestion, please let me know. I would consider anything, but you know what's really in my wheelhouse is like Dynasty Warriors. I have done quite a bit of these games. I did Samurai Warriors 5 earlier this year when it came out on Nightmare, and it was really cool. I did talk before I started this series about doing Dynasty Warriors 4, and I would still like to do that. However, I do think that I may run the risk of outstaying my welcome a little bit doing Dynasty Warriors 4 right after Dynasty Warriors 8. So, I don't know. You tell me, is that too much? The game that I would really like to do a playthrough for, game that I play through at least once every year, Kessen 3, which does not have a dedicated playthrough, and I dare say I'm pretty good at that game. It's not very hard anyway, but I played it a lot. I know, you know, pretty damn well how to be good at it, and it's a game I really don't have to pay too terribly much attention or effort to. Not that I'm providing riveting commentary on a lot of these anyway, but I try. So. Oh. Dead end. Oh man. True, probably. I doubt it. I'm gonna hit this lady with the booyah too. I think it might be fun. Easily. Okay, I'll stop that. Speaking of easily, so I don't know if any of you guys follow esports at all. As a guy who really enjoys Rainbow, any game that I really enjoy, well, that's not true exactly. There are a couple games that I really got into the esports of, and I will explain why. So one is Rocket League. And I haven't seen any of it in a long time. But I adore, absolutely adore, watching that game being played at the highest level. So, he disappeared. That game has such a high skill ceiling, it is ridiculous. Similarly, StarCraft 2, a game that I have played a great deal of, that I really enjoy. I'm not a multiplayer guy. I think I played maybe like 2 multiplayer games ever. Not my thing. But watching that game played at that high of a level, which that game is super popular in Korea. The original more so, but StarCraft 2 still, it's a big deal, right? In that country especially. So there are people that literally play for dozens and dozens and dozens of hours and get paid for it, and it's a very complex game. A lot of decision making. It isn't a cut and paste type deal. You got to be a little bit of a strategist, I think, to really succeed in that game. Anyway, and finally, a game that I've really enjoyed watching the esports of, maybe not as much as StarCraft 2, but I've still really enjoyed, is Rainbow Six. And that game I've played a shit ton of. And I'm not really that great at it. When I played on PlayStation, I did get to plat more often than not. But I was never the shining. I mean, I had my good game, sure, but I was never usually the highlight of my team anyway. But on PC, that my experience is I've been largely getting shit on. With that being said, easily was one of my favorite players. And he is no longer, and this happens, you see this across all esports, especially those that have been going on a long time. StarCraft, yes. CSGO, yes. League, yes. You know, and it's just like, it's actually just like sports. Even if you are the greatest well, that's not true. The greatest basketball players of all time, they did legitimately make a living off of basketball in some form or another for pretty much the rest of their life, even after they quit active competition. Except, I mean, I guess Kobe Bryant, he died while he was still in active competition. He's one of the greatest players of all time. But you know what I'm saying. And that goes across all games. But esports I find particularly fascinating because a lot of these guys that get into, and I'm not trying to be sexist, it's pretty much only guys that get into this. It's a nerd thing. There have been some female players, Goddess, Marmalade. But to play with the best of the best, it's usually the boys. It's worked out that way. Anyway, I am continuing to ramble as I always do. However, easily, like a lot of players, he was at the top, and then he wasn't anymore, so he had to do something else. And what I find extremely, the point I was going to point about the young men playing, is that many of them have never worked I'm going to go ahead and say it, a real job, where they are expected to be at a certain place at a certain time, and do this, that, and the other. Some of them start pretty much right out of high school, you know, aren't used to paying their own bills, doing their own, you know, laundry, making their own meals, paying a car payment, stuff like that. However, I was really impressed with some of these former Siege players. And of course, I've only known of a few of them. Some of them just go totally dark. But, some of them go on to have some pretty successful careers, you know. I guess why it's on my mind is I just find it fascinating, right, that they can go from being so far behind, you know, the curve, because the esports thing is not going to last forever, unless, you know, I'm not even going to say unless. I mean, you look at other esports guys. Shroud has done fairly well for himself as a former pro player, which if I understand correctly, he's went pro again in Valorant, which is cool. He found another game that scratched that itch for him. But for most people, you know, once you do that one game that you're good at, you're done. Either everybody else gets better than you, or you get blackballed from the communities, it doesn't work out. You know, they find a racist tweet that you put out 6 years ago, something like that, and you're done. It's gone forever. And then, unlike a lot of your peers your age, you don't have a college degree, or, you know, you have a huge work gap where, you know, some people may not take you so seriously since you why is Zurong blue? It's interesting. It's not easy to make it. It's even harder to stay in. I got mad respect for him. I know a lot of people look at it as like the ultimate nerd thing. Whatever. I will be honest. I have a hard time understanding. Like Dark Zero, they play a few games, but they originated in Rainbow, and that's where I know them from. Right? I'm talking about Rainbow Esports. Now, one of their best players, their longest tenured on their roster as of now, Hyper. He has just quit esports effectively because he is so burnt out from playing the game. He's just not happy, so he's gonna go do something else. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I hear about that and I go, man, you are widely recognized as one of the best players. Why would you not try and ride this out for as long as you can, since you have what is in many people's minds a dream job, right? I mean, like the demand for that job is a whole lot bigger. I'm sorry, I got that backwards. The supply is a whole lot bigger than the demand on that one, right? In North America, there's 10 teams of 5. So that is 50 people at any given time that are considered to be at the highest level that there's actually a spot for. Does that make sense? I hope I explained that to where it makes sense. So at any given time, if you have that spot, right, and you quote unquote retire or you quit and go do something else for your mental health, one, you're going to piss off your current teammates, whether if they like you or care for you or not. Because if you're figured into the strategies and, you know, your role on the team and how you communicate and this, that, and the other, if you're figured in like that, and then you decide you don't want to do it anymore, well, they got to find somebody else that has a totally different play style, different vibe, different tone, different skill set. They have to rebuild every offense, every defense from the ground up. And even if you don't know the game, hopefully you can still kind of follow along. It's not a very complex game mechanically, to be honest. It just really isn't. I don't think so, anyway. At any rate, I don't understand how somebody comes to that decision. I'll be honest, because when you quit, your team is very unlikely to take you back. For one, and then two, even if another team were to consider you, there's literally hundreds, if not thousands, of candidates to choose from. And then your career is over. It's, you know, is there an opportunity that you as a personality could turn your fame into a successful streaming career? Well, that's unlikely too. That's a very saturated market as well. I don't know. He quit a couple days ago, and it just bewildered me. And you know, his replacement is somebody who used to be on the team, who has been kind of floating around from team to team as of late. And his name is Skies, who when I first started watching, I thought he was an incredible player. One of the best I had ever seen. I thought. He was one of the players that I really looked forward to watching, as a matter of fact. But, I mean, these players know, right? If they get benched from a team, or they get kicked out, right? The chances that they will then be able to get another top-paying position on another team at this point is unlikely, especially if they've been doing it a long time. So, Skies retired from playing Rainbow competitively. Well, then he got an offer to come back to Dark Zero since Hyper was quitting, and so the retirement thing has come and gone. Bit of a ramble on that, I know. It's a volatile scene. It's a volatile scene. I guess I'll just conclude my point with this. If you have it, don't let it go, because you don't know when or if you're ever going to get something like that again. Chances are pretty high that you won't, actually. With that being said, I understand being miserable. Sometimes it's just not worth the money. Oof. Go ahead and say, man, this one's been going for a while. This is a hell of a finale. The good thing we're playing as Lu Bu. If we played as Chang, we'd still be trying to get the ram through the first gate. Oh, oh. I don't want to jump. Please, I don't want to jump. Oh shit. We've come so far here. Smash. Oh wow! Finally came across somebody that didn't get instantly shit on by the booyah. Alas, it was not enough. You know, it just occurred to me I did not finish my thought in the last episode. I was talking about all the missions. Let's just somebody else will beat him. Get splashed down, so. Well, I ended up beating Man Chong anyway. How about that? I wish Lin Ki had shown up in the hypothetical as well. Really, I think Makes more sense for it to be in the hypothetical campaign than the historical one anyway. Well, that move is really strong too. That's good to know. That's it.
いよいよ仕上げか。虫けらどもを玉座から蹴り出してくれる。お見事。見せつけてくれますな。猛獣死の入り方。冷たい。死ぬ気で奴らを取り拾い。
Let's go. Take the unit commanders out of the game. Oh, I would say not.
Oh, 名だたる軍友はすべて倒れた。もはや立てるものなどおりますまい。これで天下は我らのものですぞ。
王政様。
Damn, lady.
おめでとうございます。
いや、まだやることが残っている。 帝はどこにいる？
王政様。
行くぞ。
Lu Bu and the Emperor. Hell in a Cell match for the Empire.
並みいる軍友も倒れ、もはや呂布に対しうる者はいない。それはそのまま乱世の終焉を意味していた。この先、呂布が取る道はいかなるものか。帝を擁し、その無双の武にて暗い人心を極めるか。あるいは帝さえも軍友と同じように打ち倒すか。呂布が選び取る道は未だ誰にもわからなかった。そんな人々の思いをよそに呂布は帝のもとへと向かう。 戦がつかみ取った天下はいかにあるべきか。呂布は一つの答えへとたどり着いていた。今最強の男が新たな時代を開く。
呂布か。ジンを殺すのか。
Hit him with the Batista bomb.
お前はなぜ乱世が起きたと思う？お前たちが弱いからだ。だから宦官どもや董卓のような奴が出てくる。頂点に立つ者は強くなければならん。俺に帝の座をよこせ。お前はどこかへ失せろ。
That is agreeable.
王政様。
戦えんやつなど切ってもつまらんからな。いやはや陛下、戦場はすでに確保。昔日のものというのにそのお召し物は。ふん、あんな服着ていられるか。そっちはうまくやっているようだな、陳旧。天下に響き渡るは名参謀陳広大をたたえる声。声、そして声。間違いなく我が名は後世に残るでしょう。聞け！俺はこの力で乱世を制した。これからはくだらん騒ぎなど起こさせん。俺に勝てると思うやつはいつでも来い。全力で叩き潰してやる。天下よ、この俺が最強の両方戦だ。
Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. The final mission is complete. Dynasty Warriors 8 is at an end. I thank you all for taking this journey with me. A little trip down memory lane. What a long trip it was, but a fun one. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you sometime doing something else. And I hope you'll join me for that one too. Bye bye for now.